Yes, good evening, everyone, and welcome to United Sauce and Wingers. My name is Dominic, and oh my gosh, what has happened today? Like, what has actually happened today? There's so much to talk about. I thought I was going to wake up and this could be a normal Wednesday. We need to talk about this director of football. What's happening? Like, where did this come from? I don't think you saw it. I didn't see it. I saw it come up on Twitter, and I was like, this is some sort of joke. It's just like freaking April Fool's Day or something. It's not. We got a guy called John Murtuff. John. I'm going to call him John. We got a guy called John, right? We're going to talk about him. We're going to understand where he's come from, what's he doing, like, what does this mean for the club? Because, guys, I've been on Twitter, and I've been thinking about this, right? I've been doing a lot of research about this, and I want to understand, who is this John guy, and how should we feel about it? There's so many questions more than answers, and I feel like the club just dropped it. There's not, sometimes when we do like a signing, right, and we do this big fanfare, and we're like, we can kind of sense it's coming. This came out of nowhere. Like, this actually came out of nowhere, and I don't know if this was tactically planned, or this is something that they wanted to drop in, but apparently they've been thinking about this for over a couple of years, and building up to it. Guys, in this video, thanks so much for joining live. We're going to talk about who this John guy is, right? We're going to understand his credentials, what it means for the club, if it's good, if it's positive, if it's got some sort of drawbacks. I've got my views, and I understand what you're thinking too, but we're going to get into deep on what John Murtuff, I'm just going to call him John, Mito, whatever. We're going to get into it and understand what he means and what this means for the club, because we've been begging for this. This is like a child wanting to go to Disneyland. Please, Daddy, why don't you love me? Like, this is literally like that. And we finally got what we need. But all of us just have questions more than answers, right? I can see it. I can feel it. So we're going to look into it. Marco, what's going on, my brother? Mates Rate FC. Big up, everyone. Yes. What's Chris saying? John hired Casey Stone, the MUFC women's team coach, and she's done amazing. Okay, it's good to know. But I'm sick of hiring people with no experience. Let's just done either. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of getting an external DF as opposed to getting an internal DF. I've got lots of talking points. I've been really thinking about this all day to understand, because this is going to change what we do as football. This is going to change the club. And if people think this is not a big change, this is huge. Growing up as a Manchester United fan, right, if you really think about it, we didn't really have DOFs. Sir Alex Ferguson was the main man. He was the guy to say yes and to say yes and to say yes or say no to everything that anybody ever get. He was the one man. He was freaking Neo from Matrix. He was Morpheus, right? Now we're in a situation when we're trying to change the way we play football and we run the club. And this is why it's so big. So let's talk about this John, right? I've had a lot of people asking and talking to me about, what's he actually going to do? Like, what's his actual role? So if we look at John, right, he's been at the club since 2013, and he was working with David Moyes. So David Moyes brought him in. He's been a pivotal part of the academy that produced Wayne Rooney and Ross Barkley, apparently, because prior to this, he worked at Fulham. He's worked on United's data science strategy, looked at everything from medical, recruitment, and coaching. Okay, cool. Interesting. I don't think that really gives anyone a lot to go on, really, if you think about it. He's a science coach. Okay, cool. Let's go into the big details of what he's actually going to do at the club, because I think some people are still a bit shaky what he's actually going to do. So if we look at it, as a football director, John will work day to day with Ollie to align recruitment and other strategies to ensure that the first team has the best-in-class operational support it needs. Don't really understand what that means. Don't really get that. It's all a bit wordy for me, but Ollie will continue his role in the recruitment process, supported by extensive scouting and data analytics. So this is a key bit here. Matt Judge will also report to John and be in charge of football negotiations. That feels like, to me, I'll be honest with you, someone said, okay, John, you're the man, you're going to be the main dog, and Matt Judge come and said, mate, oh, please, can I keep my job? Please, just give me any title. Just let me just help, get the contracts together. Because that's a bit weird how you've got part of the job, which I'm sure this John guy can manage. But anyway, they split up the roles. You've got John, who's the football director. You've got Matt Judge still there as a negotiation, just to tap it in, just tap it in, a freaking game of golf. And you've obviously got Ollie still a part of the recruitment, and obviously Darren Fletcher's the technical department. Apparently, he's the gap between the youth and the philosophy and the culture, and making sure that basically when transfers come in, they understand what they're about to come into and why they should come. So it's a whole big system. My problem here, guys, and why obviously I want this to be successful. You know I do. You want it to be successful. Everybody does, right? My only problem and issue I have here is, why did we not go externally? That's my only issue. Because if you think about this, right, if you go externally for something, you're bringing in practices that you didn't have before, right? You're bringing in practices that maybe a new idea or a new way of thinking. So I don't understand why we didn't go externally. Let me look at the pros and cons of this, right? And I've been thinking about what we can do here. If you go over external DOF, the director of football, they're going to have external contacts and relationships, right? External contacts, relationships. If you go to another job, you know the industry. If you come from a different job, you're going to bring different contacts and experiences, right? Again, another pro of external, you're going to have perspective. You're going to come into Manchester United and say, this ain't freaking working, guys. This ain't working. Why have we got this system here? Why is this doing that? You're going to come in with an open mind and new experience, right? Another thing for external DOF, you have a new outlook. You come in here, you want to prove yourself. You want people to understand that you mean business. You've got a massive intrinsic desire to perform. This is the thing. When you've got an external DOF, all the pressure's on them and they want to improve. They want to do better, and they come with their best work, right? And also they've got that competitive pressure. That competitive pressure is to do well, to make sure that they deliver on the objective that they've been seen. And of course, they get that expertise, that knowledge. So when you bring in an external DOF, and that's what I've seen a lot on Twitter, you bring that new way of thinking, that pressure, that gravitas, and that black book that we need. We need that black book where we can find random players and say, mate, look, I know this is a good player. I know lots of people want him, but we go way back. Help me out. I've got a new job. I need to smash it up. I want to smash it up for Manchester United. That is my only issue hiring internally. It's like any job. Again, if you do hire internally like we have, you've got an understanding of the club. We understand that, right? He knows Woodward. So it might be a situation where Woodward's like, you know what? I don't want to relinquish all my power to you, to like some random DOF. I want to still be the puppet master. I still want to have, I'm the big dog, right? If he hires someone that he knows, maybe that might work in his favor. And he's like, you know what? I'll give you more power than I'll give an external DOF. Do you see where I'm going? That's my thinking behind that we know Woodward is not a football decision maker. He's a banker. Santander, Barclays, NatWest, whatever you want to do, right? That's not his job. He's making the club money, not by playing football, but doing the business aspect of it. But if he's hiring a football director and saying, look, I trust you. I know that you're not coming to threaten my position. I'm going to give you more power. That might work in our favor. And I'm sure all of you are just hoping that this works out for the best, because it needs to, because the club can't get any worse than it actually is. Obviously, as well, because he's been here for a long time, working for the club, I think since 2013, I believe I said. Obviously, he understands how the clubs work. He understands all the staff. He understands. He's probably seen the problems and probably couldn't do as much about it because he wasn't in the position of power. And maybe he can come with a perspective saying to us that, you know what, right? I know Manchester United are in disarray, but I've seen it from the inside, and I know the first things to change. And now with this new title and people coming to me, I've got the power and the fight and the willingness to change it and do something good. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And obviously, come on, when you're hiring internally for a DOF, there is less risk. There's always less risk. If you're doing any job you go to, if you hire internally, there's always less risk because you know the person knows the processes, the staff, the players, the academy. It's less risk. If you go out and find some random guy that we've all been talking about as a new DOF who works in Europe, have done these clubs, they might come in and flop. They might come in and not get in with the rest of the staff. They might come in and not get in with Ollie. There's also a thing, and I want to get your thoughts on this, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you're watching live. I appreciate it. There's also a thing here that I don't know if it's like some sort of conspiracy theory, right? But what if we don't know if Ollie is going to stay in the job? We know it, or they wouldn't have given him a contract already. He's got 18 months left. They would have extended his contract. What if they are getting ready, just in case Ollie isn't the man for the job? They want to have someone in place who keeps the consistency going of Manchester United. So bear with me. So, for example, say Wood was like, okay, Ollie's up and down at the moment. We can win big, we can lose big. We don't know if he's the man for the job long term. What if we get someone in place now that we've been trying to get for a year or so, because they've been talking about this John guy for a year? Why don't we get this guy in place, right? And if Ollie is not here, at least we've got some consistency, some continuity, and we have someone who knows about the club, that who when the new manager comes in, they can say, look, I understand the club, and now I want to get to know how you want to play football. I'll go and get your players. So this might be more of a long-term thing that we're not seeing, guys, and it might be a situation where you know what, Manchester United are doing some long-term planning. Can you freaking believe it? Could you imagine that, say, for example, a Nagelsmann comes in, or say, for example, Ollie does well and keeps going and he stays in? We're getting some sort of consistency and letting football people make football decisions. I can't believe what's happening right now. It's, you know what, it's exciting, but also I'm a little bit nervous about it because all eyes are on us now. Guys, we've been shouting from the rooftops to get a DOF, to get some sort of flicking structure in the club. We finally got it now. It can't flick and flop because everybody be flicking laughing at us. We need to make this work. So, in honesty, we do need to send some positive vibes. We'll see what people are saying. DF needs a kit of 300 million each year minimum. Jesus have mercy. I don't think he's going to get that, Mark. I wouldn't trust Mark Jar to negotiate in the pub. Vibes, yeah. And honestly, a £2 pint, you're flicking coming £6 for a flicking pint, right? Cliss, will this structure be good when Ed Woodward is signing off for the money spent? Yeah. This is what I'm thinking, though. I'm trying to look at the positives. I'm thinking Woodward knows John, right? I'm calling him John because I don't know how to say his last name, Murto, whatever it is. He knows him, so he might actually give him more power and say, if he comes and say, look, I need 100 million for Haaland, he'll be like, yeah, see you later. No questions asked, because he trusts and he believes in him. So that might be something good. That might be really something good that we need. Dom, it's because Woodward's egomaniac and basically a dictator at United now. Yeah, he wants to be in control, and everything he's doing, he will be in control. He's not letting anybody change how he feels about it. Vibes, I'm excited about that idea of change, but Matt Judge was still doing negotiations isn't good. Woodward will also screw up. Yeah, the problem with all of this is that the most important thing hasn't changed, and that's Woodward and the Glazers. That's not changed, and we know that's not going to change. So we just have to take this with a pinch of salt and just be happy that, you know what, something is changing a little bit. We just have to be happy in that respect that we've got a bit of a change. Marco, this could be big. Absolutely. Carl Lewis, a DOF doesn't need to agree with Ollie. The DOF does what's best for the club. Absolutely. Not what's best for Ollie. So the DOF feels we need CDM. Ollie wants Sancho. John should be able to overrule him 100%. But there's one thing that Manchester United said, that Ollie will still have a massive part to play in recruitment. But the buck ends with John. From what I can see in the, it says Ollie will continue his recruitment, his role in the recruitment process, supported by extensive scouting and data analytics. Matt Judge will also report to John with the title of Director of Football Negotiations. So, yeah, I think Ollie will have to get the say-so from John, which is a brilliant situation, because we know for a fact that Woodward has signed off on every single signing. We know it. He signed off with anyone, and that's why we're in the rut that we're in. That's why we've made so many poor, stinking signings. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I keep thinking about where we go from here. And in summary, for me, bringing in DOF is 100% a good thing. We've been calling for this, guys. We've been calling and crying out for this, for some stinking structure. Why won't you just give us some structure? We finally got it. But you know us, Man United fans, we're always like, what's happening here? Is there something we've missed? Is there something we've missed here? Because this seems to come out of nowhere. People are a little bit like, okay, we got a DOF, but he's basically got a promotion after his yearly review. People are a little bit skeptical. But at the same time, we have to be happy we've got DOF, guys. This is something that's never happened in the history of the club, and it's happened in our lifetime. When we get flicking older, we tell our kids, son, we were there. We were there when they appointed a DOF. His name's John. Good guy. We can say that to our kids, right? And be that situation. But I don't know. I'm just hoping. Anyway, the most important thing for me, and guys, we have to be positive about this. I know that we still got Woodward and the Glazers, and we don't know how much say they will have on this new system and structure, but we just have to be positive that at least we've got a structure in place now where we can actually go and make football decisions being made by football people, because at the moment it's been made by bankers. So we have to be positive there. You know what, right? I'm going to ask you questions, right? And I've been thinking about this situation about getting a DOF. And answer me this question. Are we playing it safe? And when I say are we playing it safe, we could have gone out and got an external DOF. We know we could have. We would probably have to pay a lot of money, but it would have been someone who's got quite a good track record of bringing in new players and completely instantly changing that team. Are we playing it safe by promoting within? We've got Darren Fletcher, who's a technical director now, right? We've got Carrick, we've got McKenna, Mike Finnan. It looks like literally we just all met down the park and now we're managing Man United, right? I might be sounding a bit extra, but I don't know. Are we playing it safe? Are we? Another question, is Woodward going to be controlling this whole situation? Tell me. Because I know he's controlled every situation up until now, so what's going to change? What's going to change? Like, Woodward does not like to relinquish control. He doesn't like it. So what's going to change now? So that's my only worry in that situation. And also, has anybody actually asked themselves, why now? Why have we just got a DOF all of a sudden now? It's Wednesday, flicking another date. Yeah, the 10th, right? Why have we got a DOF on Wednesday the 10th, randomly, just dropped in there on Twitter? Oh, no, yeah, we just did this. This is huge. Is it because we're going to the latter end of the season now and we need that last bit to make top 4? Is it because, you know what, we're taking our time and it just happened to be a Wednesday? Something didn't really sit right with me there. I don't know. I thought it was to be a bigger fanfare. Maybe, to be fair, we just did beat City, which is massive. Everybody's feeling really good. And it's probably a good situation and good time to do it. Mark Ho is saying, Dom, if you were DOF, who you getting in? Oh, Jesus, all right. 100% we're getting in Grealish, right? Grealish. Grealish is one of those players that needs to play football and have the ball and carry it. He makes people play better around him. He's a ball carrier. He creates space. He's got that arrogance. He's a captain for his club. He's basically kept them up and kept them playing. As soon as Grealish went, Aston Villa are flicking rubbish. They're like a fridge without power. Everything's just going off. Do you know what I mean? So for me, 100% Jack Grealish. People are talking about Haaland. I would get Haaland if we're in a better situation than we are now. We're in a bit of a disarray. We're in disarray. If Haaland came to this team right now, he would flop. And he wouldn't flop because he's a great player. He's young, he's strong, he's enthusiastic. But the current system, he'll be isolated. We are not an enabling team where we allow our team to thrive. If we got other players in, like Grealish, and those sort of ilk that can keep the ball, play progressive football, people with mentality, then I'll bring a Haaland in. I want to bring him into an oiled machine, not a car who's trying to get petrol up a hill, because that's what we do. We don't know if this car's going to make it every game. Every game we're like, are we going to win? AC Milan, haven't got a clue. Man City, we all thought we were probably going to lose. We don't know. So this is not the right environment for Haaland to come in, even though I'd want him so badly to play for our club. It's just hard. It's just hard for me. I don't want to be in a situation where we're like, oh, Haaland comes and then we space jam him and he's rubbish. And people are like, wait a minute, you're smacking it at Borussia Dortmund. It has to be the Man United effect. I don't want to be exposed that bad because I know we have an effect on players and sometimes we make them crap just because we're in transition every stinking season. I don't want to be in transition. I don't want to be in it. But I know Grealish has the mentality, the football IQ, the awareness and the arrogance to come in and no matter what, just do his thing. He doesn't rely on other people. He's been doing it for Aston Villa for years. When Aston Villa have been average, he's been the standout and he's lifted his team up. So I'll definitely get Grealish in. I'm not sure what Amadiala is going to do at the moment. I don't know why we brought him in so early. We're not even giving him a couple more minutes. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why we worked so hard to get him in early when they wanted to keep him in January. And now we don't play the brother. Don't really get it. But look, we've got to ease him in. We've got to ease him in. Guys, so don't forget to like and share and subscribe. I really appreciate you coming in. It's just a quick little catch up with you guys. I couldn't stay silent on this. This is crazy. What I want to talk about as well is flicking AC Milan. So Ollie's come out today and said that we're probably not having Rashford and Edison. He'll probably playing with one leg, but there's definitely no Pogba and DVB. We've also flicking found out that Dalot can play against us, guys. Had me a thought here. What is that about? How can a player on loan play against us? Hear my thinking on this, right? You're playing for a team. He still does like Manchester United. He probably wants to prove a point. Are you going to play your best? Or even worse, are you going to try and sabotage us? Are you going in the change room and telling them, yeah, I know all about Wan-Bissaka. Actually, I know my wires, weak points. This don't sit right with me. Does anybody else think that someone who plays for us shouldn't play against us? It doesn't make any sense. Like, Dalot knows our change room. He knows our strategies. If he's actually someone in the Man United could be like, hey, Dalot, mate, look, I know we kind of were a bit harsh on you, bro, and we just sent you out. We've only got AWB and Brandon Williams. We made you look like a fool, right? And we know you got better feet. Your dribbling's unbelievable. Look, if you just let a goal in, right? Just let a cheeky goal in, right? you've got front row seat on the bus back to Manchester United. Just talk to me. Just WhatsApp me back. Let me know, mate. Who's policing that? Do you know what I mean? Who's policing that? Saying, oh, wait a minute, thinking now, has Dalot just let them go in? If he has a stinker tomorrow, surely everybody's like, it's a little bit of match fixing here. Is it just me or what? Because that don't make freaking sense. I like it. I think it's not right. If you play for a club and you're still on loan, you can't play against them. Full stop. It doesn't make it. This ain't a freaking season friendly. You know, on FIFA, when you play those season friendly cup competitions, you can play who you want. Nah, don't sit well with me. But we'll see. We'll see. Dalot's probably going to have a great game tomorrow. He's got a point to prove, and we're all going to be thinking having pies in our faces. For 100%, Dalot is 10 times better than Williams. 10 times. If I had a freaking, honestly, I don't know why we sold Dalot on loan for me when Ollie clearly does not trust Williams. Clearly. He was paying him loads and all of a sudden realised he weren't good enough. He realised he weren't good enough, and now he's in a situation where we have to play AWB every stinking game. So for me, Dalot is a guy that is perfect. The sort of Tellez and Luke Shaw effect. Dalot can be the AWFE effect to help AWB move forward, be more fluid in his approach, trying to actually improve his simple touching and dribbling. Dalot's that perfect player because he just glides across the pitch. We all saw his goal recently for AC Milan. I don't get that. That's another thing. But then with the structure we've got now, John Murta, my brother, he might be like, why are we selling Dalot? What's the disconnect? You've got AWB here, you sold Dalot, but you don't play Williams. Something don't make sense. Maybe John's coming now and saying, like, we need to mix this up a bit. Ollie, do you believe in Williams? If you don't, say see you later and bring Dalot back. Part of me hope Dalot absolutely smashes us tomorrow in terms of his ability, not beating us, but actually his performance, and we bring him back and he competes with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Guys, people keep thinking we have loads of freaking money. We do not have a lot of money to spend. We do technically, but the Glazers won't freaking spend it. So why are we going to go out and potentially get Max Aarons, which I think is a baller? I don't know how much he's going to cost, maybe 30 million, something like that. When we've got Dalot, who's there. He's on our books. Just take him, see how he does. We need to save the money for the players and the positions that count. That count. We can't, people keep thinking, oh yeah, we're going to go and get a centre-back, Yeah, all good and well. But tell me now, to go and get a centre-back of Baye's quality, I know the brother can't stay fit, it's unbelievable, right? But to go and get a quality centre-back of Baye, strong, tenacious, daring, like, that's going to cost 100 mil. Guys, you tell me a centre-back who's available, who's not going to cost 100 mil to be as good as Baye. We haven't got the money right now to go out and buy a massive, huge centre-back. We haven't. Because at the moment, we've got Lindelof, we've got Maguire, we've got Baye, we've got Axel Tuanzebe. I think we should spend the money elsewhere. Because what I'm actually seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong, you tell me, guys, more and more I'm seeing when Henderson's in front of that, those Maguire, Lindelof, or Baye, or whatever, he instills a confidence that I haven't seen recently. I'm not saying just to complete disregard De Gea. Who would do that? He's on 385k a week. But he's instilling confidence that I've not seen recently. And that might just be because he's trying to fight for his place. Henderson might flop in a few games. He might do a howler. And people be like, oh, see, all the people that are trying to get rid of De Gea, see, Henderson's a flicking flop. But at the same time, this could be the effect that we're seeing. Look, De Gea tried to leave. The fax machine shut it down. People forget that. De Gea is a great keeper. 4 times player of the year. Baller. We loved him. It was De Gea. I don't even know if we made a freaking song for the guy. But times move on. If De Gea can't keep up with the pace and he admits it to himself, no problem. He's always wanted to go back to Spain with his family, and I respect that. Henderson, step up. Step up. No problem. If Henderson's not good enough, we'll go and get someone else. We need to be more... All these like flicking allegiances. They're too much. Too much allegiances. If they're not good enough, say see you later. I did a video recently, I think it was on Monday, the Monday Night Source show with Adam Magic TV. And we basically went through each player and said who should stay and who should go. Guys, we need to be more flicking ruthless. All these allegiances, oh, please, keep them. They got there on the Man United way. We're trying to build a squad here. We're trying to build a team that can win trophies and have that mentality. If they're not good enough, go. If they don't want to fight for their place, go. If they keep making mistakes and the quality is just not showing, go. I have no problem with that. I have no freaking problem with that. People are talking about buying Mings. I'm not sure on Mings. Be honest with you guys. I'm not too sure on Mings. And I don't even know how much the brother would cost. How much would Mings cost? I don't know. For me, I think we've got more important things to do around that. We need to go and get a CDM. We need to go and get a right winger to battle it out with Amad Diallo, because when he actually does finally play a game, he's going to need competition. And obviously now with Cavani saying he wants to go, what kind of madness was that about Cavani? Guys, honestly, I'm looking at Twitter and I'm like, okay, just normal news. All right, Cavani wants to leave. And not only does Cavani not come out and say his dad, my son wants to leave and go back home. He doesn't really like it in England. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. People have been bigging up Cavani so much. And I big him up too. But I'm be honest with you, if he doesn't want to play for us, see you later. He was never a long-term signing. People getting so upset about Cavani potentially leaving. He hasn't played a lot of games. I think Martial scored more goals than freaking Cavani. Cavani's an elite player, and he's helped us across the dressing room, helped us to feel that we're more elite. He come up with some important goals. But if he doesn't want to play for us, see you later. See you later. He'd come out and said, I always love wearing this shirt. Okay, so why are you about to take it off then? Like, why are you about to take it off? Like, if you don't want to play for us, no problem. See you later. We can go and get another striker. There's no problem with trying to raise our expectations to want better for this club. All this sentimentality and all this sort of, oh yeah, the United DNA. United DNA is to go and win matches. So technically, the DNA ain't freaking working at the moment. The DNA of Manchester United is winning games, is going out on the pitch, and the team already know they've lost because they know they're playing us. That's the mentality. That's the mentality. So when people say, oh, yeah, you've got the right United DNA, so what, they got the winning mentality? Is that what you're trying to say? Because if that's what you're trying to say, completely agree. Guys, to get our United DNA back, we need to win games. To win games, we need to be ruthless. To be ruthless, we need the people with the right mentality. Bruno got the mentality, 100%. I'd even say freaking Scott McTominay. When he scores, I call him Scottini, McTominini, whatever his name is. I don't know, Colizzi or whatever. When he scores, he's a baller. But for me, Scott McTominay has got a mentality that I wish some others had. We know Martial hasn't got the mentality always. Sometimes he sulks, but the thing about Martial, he's got the quality, which we all saw. He needs to match that with mentality, or he won't have a long career at Manchester United. Well, any longer than he's really been here. He's been here for a long time. We need players with mentality. We're about to play AC Milan tomorrow, guys, right? And I think people are taking this a little bit too lightly, right? A lot. I've seen different channels and so forth, right, talking about playing AC Milan. And I'm like, right. And they're like, yeah, we should definitely beat them. And I'm like, have you not watched all the other games we've been playing? Like, when we're like, yeah, we'll smash him. And we're literally like, oh, please, I need some water. I can't do it. Because we're like flicking, struggling to get the ball. We should not take, I don't care how many players they've got out tomorrow. We should not take this game lightly. The whole reason we've got John, our new DOF, is to make sure that we've got the right players and the right system with the right qualities and abilities, right? But sometimes you get a team with the right system, doesn't matter what players they've got, they're playing as a team. We should not take tomorrow lightly. I know we've got a few players out ourselves, but they haven't got Zlatan. They haven't got some of their big players. People will say, look, based on players, we should smash them. We lost to flicking Sheffield United. I'll just stop there. We lost to flicking Sheffield United. None of this, oh, we've got the better players on paper. On paper, chuck the paper away, flick and make a paper airplane, because paper don't mean jack. It don't mean anything. Tomorrow, we need to play this game like we'll play Man City. But guess what? The problem is we will not approach this game like we're playing Man City, because human nature and the mentality of our players, they won't approach this like we're playing Man City. They won't. They'll approach it like AC Milan have lost all their big players, so hopefully it should be a good run-in. That is wrong. And this is why the likes of all the teams that win the domestic leagues, the PSGs, the Juventus, all those teams, even the Man Cities, because they're going to win the league, they treat every game, I think they're winning like 5-2 or something, correct me if I'm wrong, they might be even scoring more. The reason they win games and win leagues and win trophies is because they treat every single team as the hardest team. They treat every single team as the hardest team. If we don't do that, we will keep flopping. I don't want to hear tomorrow, because I'm back for the match reaction straight after the game. We didn't reapproach the game right. Why are we not approaching games right? Tell me, why are we not approaching game? What do you need to approach the game right? Some Red Bull, a pack of Skittles, Oh, what, Ollie to give you a hug and flicking put on Lion King? Can you feel the flicking love tonight? Is that what you need? Because if you can't get up for a game where the Manchester United flicking red top with so much history, with so much prestige, I don't know what you need. I don't know what you're missing. I don't know what you need to go and get to G yourself up for a game. We're playing AC Milan Europa League. We're fighting for top 4 place. Bring it. Bring it. And if there's people out, cement your place. Cement your place. Guys, make sure you go and check out my previous video on Monday Night Source with Adam and Matchich TV, where we talk about who should go and who should stay, because it'll be very interesting. Probably some of you will be quite surprised who I said to go. I'll give you a little teaser now. I said Fred needs to go. Fred needs to go. And I'm not saying that I don't appreciate everything he does. I'm not saying he can't be effective the rest of the season. No way. I'm not saying, oh, he's going to be rubbish for the rest of the season. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can get better in this position. We can get someone else who defends like Fred, but can also go forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when he walks home, he just does the moonwalk because he can't go forward. He just goes backwards. Do you know what I mean? He's just doing a moonwalk all the flicking way home. We need someone who can go forward and go back. That's all I'm asking you. So I said Fred needs to go if we're going to build a mentality of a title-winning team, because I want to get back to trebles, guys. I want to get back to flicking. You know, when we're out of this lockdown, that we can go out, go to the pub and freaking going down the road singing all these stupid songs and having a good time. Where is that United? Where's that United? Because every game, I feel like we get so divided because we just want the best for our club. Guys, if you want the best for your club, just like the video, subscribe if you know. I appreciate you joining in. We're just in a situation where we're talking about AC Milan. We're talking about the stupidness of Dalot. Why is he playing against us? It makes no sense. He could easily do match fixing, letting a goal. Do you know what I mean? We've talked about the DOF situation, that it's just at the moment, it's friends are us. You've got Carrick, Fletcher, all having a beer, saying, oh, do you want to come and work at Man United? It's like flicking Job Centre Plus. But you know what? I hope it works out. I hope we build something. I hope that hiring within is actually something that makes us see trophy after trophy after trophy. I hope this John guy is elite. He brings a new way of thinking because he wants to impress everybody. He finds people that we couldn't even think we can find. He lands people that become stars. I hope this is the start of something, because at the moment, people are saying that if this guy flops, they'll say, oh, they won't play Woodward. He's just the go-to guy. And they'll use John as the, oh, we didn't have enough experience. Oh, it's not my fault. It was John's fault. Well, you hired John. So if you try and do that, we're not falling for it. I want this John guy, the new DOF, to excel, to be good, to be excited about his role, to want to see trophies and be happy with the situation that we're in. I want excellence. And I hope that we see that. But based on the track record of Glazer and Woodward, I don't know. I flicking don't know. And I hope I'm flipping wrong. And I hope that all my worries are just put aside and we start seeing different football, different players come in and we come elite again. Guys, at the end of the day, we're second, right? And I know we're second and we're all asking ourselves, how are we second right now? We enjoy it and we figure out it later, because whatever happens this season, we're just going to end where we end. I don't know. I can't predict games. Cavani isn't tired of running like a headless chicken. Bruno wants assurance that quality players will be signed before signing a new contract. Yeah, so we talked about this, that Bruno is not signing his contract. And it must be true, because we don't just bring out random stuff that's for the sake of it. Bruno's not signing a contract. I believe it. And I respect it massively, because maybe Bruno's just doing this to actually get people to start waking up and realizing that we're Manchester United. But also a little bit of, gladiator insubordination. I'm going to drive this car where I want. Don't know. I don't know if I believe this is true or not. But if it is true, Bruno needs to do it in the right way. You don't just not sign a contract because you want assurances that quality players, because that's what Pogba said, and Pogba got put to the flicking flames. Do you know what I mean? He said, oh, I want assurances that we're going to buy new players. He's here later, and how many good players have we bought that are actually a stay in our team right now? Bruno needs to do it on the pitch. If you like Man United and you love our fans and you want to do well by this club, do it on the pitch. Leave the transfer stuff to everybody else, and hopefully this John guy. Don't start holding the club for ransom a bit and saying, oh yeah, I'll sign the contract, but you have to get rid. I know what you're trying to do. But I don't think it's the right way of doing it. And I respect you for doing it, Bruno, because we need that hoot. We need that heat, Bruno. And we need that passion, and you're bringing that. But I don't think it's the right way to really do it. Vibe saying, I don't believe that the story is that story because it's from Neil Custis. He could tell me it's 2021. I'll check my calendar to make sure he's not lying. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's a bit weird. There's so much come out, and obviously we're talking about Max Aaron's as well, and all that situation. And I don't know. It's just everything's just seems a bit off at the moment, and I don't know if we're building to something, like something's about to drop, or you know, sometimes when we bring out this news, it's because something's about to drop. Could you imagine if something news comes out like Pogba's leaving, it's confirmed, or like, I don't know, or Mike Freeland's leaving, or they're trying to do something before something drops. I don't know, but that would be interesting if that flicking does happen. So yeah, for the game tomorrow, we got to approach it in the right way. We got to approach it and say we're playing Man City, we're playing flicking PSG, and we need to flicking win this game. John Murto, however you say his name, he'll be watching. He'll be understanding where our strength is. We know that Rashford, well, he's a doubt, but I feel like we're going to play Henderson. We're going to play AWB. We're going to play our strongest team because they have their weakest team. And Ollie will know they have their weakest. We're not going to start dilly-dallying. Ollie's never been that sort of brave manager. He just wants to win, and he goes to his trusty faithful. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where he'll play his strongest team, AWB. Maguire, maybe by... I don't know if he'll give Luke Shaw a rest. I'd love to see Tellez on the left. Love to see that boy on the left. He hadn't played enough. He was captain at flicking Porto, whipping in balls for fun, and now he's not playing. So give him a chance. Perfect game for him. I think he might play Matic, but if he really wants to win this game, we'll go back to McFred. And then up front, we'll have Bruno, probably Greenwood, Daniel James, and he'll probably go with the same team. He'll go with the same team to Man City probably, and then after that, he'll bring on some players if we're winning comfortably. Sufan, my man, I highly doubt much will change with DOF. Judge is still there, same role. Yeah, Sufan, we talked about that, and it's a bit weird because it's like Matt Judge was nearly kicked out of Manchester United, but he hang on and said, okay, what about the last bit of football negotiations? What if I could just have a title? Because that's a weird title. Who else has got a title, football negotiations, and you've got a director of football? That's so weird. That's so weird. I don't know. Don't get that. We asked for Burger King and got told there's food at home. I hope the DOF will succeed. Yeah, I hear you. I freaking hear you. I hear you guys. But yeah, guys, don't forget to come back for the match reaction. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully we freaking win. And we bring it for the next round because we've got some big games coming up. West Ham, Leicester. These are massive games, and I don't want any surprises. We need to finish second. If Ollie wants to keep the job, and I'll back him as long as he keeps going and we finish second and I get a trophy, I'll back him. But if we finish out of the top 4 and we don't get a trophy this season, I think the writing's on the wall for me because we have to do it. But the problem is, who are we going to bring in? They're going to come in under this board, under this structure, and probably flop too. So it's just to end the cycle. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm telling you, Dom, Ollie's man management is super suspect, man. Dude was captain at Porto, McTominay benching Pogba, no time. Yeah, everyone's saying that, man. I get that. But at the moment, it's hard to do it because we're winning games and we're not losing. That's why. If Ollie was losing games and then he's doing all this man management, it's easy. See you later. But we're winning games. We're second. So if Ollie keeps winning with all these weird like decisions, we can't knock the guy. I'm respecting him. I hope he's here for years and we win trophies and trebles. But if he doesn't make top 4 and we get no trophy this season, the writing's on the wall for me. And I feel like everybody will in agreement. You know what I mean? He'll be out faster than Piers Morgan. Do you know what I mean? So, guys, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it. I'll be back for match reaction tomorrow night. Have a freaking beautiful evening. Check out the video of Adam Matic on that I did on Monday, saying leave or go. And yeah, have a freaking lovely freaking evening. Peace out, guys.